country, where it's from, the Office of Accountability and Whistleblower Protection. Okay? That's
So I called them.
That you left a voicemail. Is that accurate?
No, I spoke to the woman on the phone. I actually have her recorded. She talked to me kind of rudely and said that we only protect, it's not our mission to protect veterans, it's our mission to protect the VA employees from whistleblowing. So, so the woman,
That's what she said.
right, but the woman I called on the whistleblower hotline also called you to tell you that I posted that on my social media. Now, how would somebody I have never talked to in the VA before, all of a sudden...
Oh, no, sir. That wasn't... No, this is basically stating that you left a message.
No.
You left a voicemail.
Nope.
There. That's...
I have a recording.
I'm not familiar with any social media or anything.
Well, you just told me that. Because what you're reciting back to me is what I posted on social media. So... I'm going to tell you this.
Okay, I don't know.
So a few months ago, somebody hacked my account and changed a post I made to make it sound like I was suicidal. So then the police come over here, and I don't have a problem with showing them the post. And then I realized what the post said. And I was like, I did not post this. They took me to the hospital and kept me there for 8 hours, and I don't even understand why. And then the people who run around this area saving people's lives from themselves, they were trying to have me committed. Right? So I'm sitting in this patient room in the ER at the hospital, and I'm standing in the doorway and I'm looking across at this computer on a roll around with a camera on top of it. It's pointed right into the room. I'm standing there because I understand how computers work. I'm watching the software load in script form through command prompt. The camera raises and starts recording me. Now, just before I leave, it's turned off and the camera drops down like they normally do when you power them down, because a motor is holding them up so you can move them around. So they have video showing that I was not any way, shape, or form a danger to myself or them. But I did get on the phone trying to get legal help because my civil rights were being violated. There is absolutely no due process in this country. When somebody calls you and tells you something that's not true, there's no due process, right? There was no due process in Colorado. There is no due process here in Illinois. There wasn't any in Louisiana. There's no due process. So you have no right to an attorney. You have no rights at all. They actually have complete control over you. So to find numbers for attorneys to call them is impossible. They also take away your phones and things of this nature. The nurse over at the ER threatened to take away my phone if I didn't stop calling people trying to get help. Threatened to take my phone away if I continued to try to get help from the abuse I was experiencing. I don't understand what's wrong in this country. I have no idea what broke so bad.
What is your goal? Like, is it for the disability rating, for that to be increased? Are you...
So look, I can't work. I can't work.
Individuals that...
I'll explain it to you.
Okay, go ahead.
I cannot work because the sleeping issue I had in the military that's well documented has gotten so bad that it's harder to sleep now. Also, I don't know if you understand this concept or not, but when someone has abused and improperly heavily medicated for years for something that's not wrong with them, that also causes them to have a disability of PTSD. And I've had chemicals put in my body that I didn't need at high doses, and I was scared by them throwing me in the hospital. They kept demanding to take my blood every 30 days to make sure I'm taking my medication. So I had no choice but to let my abusers continue to abuse me. And by the time they got that medication rooted into my system, I became so messed up that they started to use that to justify what they did to me. I'm irritated. You can hear that in my voice because I'm getting tired of this crap. I'm getting tired of this game they're playing with me. The person who called you to tell you I said something to her like that, I posted that on social media. I know that I'm being trolled by them because they're looking for anything and everything that they can use to say, see, we're right. Because what they did is a crime. They push veterans to a point trying to save their lives for something that the veteran doesn't need them to save their lives with at all. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if someone cannot get away from their abusers and their abusers have complete control over their lives, I can see why people would kill themselves. I'm not saying I'm going to. I want to make sure that's clear again, because even when I tell somebody that I'm not going to kill myself, even when I tell somebody that I'm not going to kill myself, right, they still say, ask me if I'm in crisis, and they try to use that to dissuade from the real issue. That's what they do, right?
Okay.
These doctors are sociopaths.
I'll just go ahead and I'll clarify it, right, so that no one can continue to call you or to, continue to, ask about this situation. So you're basically saying you're not having any current thoughts of suicide, okay? You're not suicidal, okay? What about any past thoughts of suicide? I know you stated that.
Okay, let's have this conversation very clear. If I don't want to kill, if I don't
had past thoughts of suicide?
No. Are you not listening to me?
Okay. Have you ever? I'm just trying to make sure that I'm clarifying that, so that way we can just have that, and I'll put that down. You've never had any past thoughts. What about any attempts to end your life?
Never.
Never. Gotcha. I got you, Jason. No thoughts, nothing, none of that. What I'm hearing is that you're frustrated with the VA and what they have put you through, and you're stating that you understand why people go down that road of suicide.
Yeah.
But you are not suicidal.
I
got you.
I'm trying to save my brothers and sisters in arms who have served this country honorably, who have disabilities, because I'm going to tell you right now, not one of us gets out of the military without some form of PTSD and other injuries, right? We did something for you guys that y'all can't not even begin to understand, right? Asking somebody to point guns at people and pull the triggers, even if they feel okay with it, in the back of their mind, they were raised their entire lives. Most people are raised in religion. Thou shalt not kill, do no harm. Our entire society actually frowns and will actually execute people who have killed people. And then we're young and we want to do right by our country and maybe get some training out of the situation for, high technology when you get out. Then I'm confused. I don't understand. Right? So I'm trying not just for myself to get my situation resolved. I'm trying to fix this problem because if every veteran is facing this, and there's no reason to believe that they're not, because I've actually watched it happen to other veterans as well. When you gaslight somebody and psychologically manipulate them and force medications on them that they shouldn't take, and let's be clear about mental health medications. They are mind-altering drugs. That's what they are. They are trying to alter your mind to think in a way that is less damaging for you. Well, if you put mind-altering drugs in somebody that doesn't need them, it's your fault for the way they behave because you're abusing them. And if you're also gaslighting them and having endless loops of suicide prevention call you whenever you try to get help for the abuse they gave you, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that when somebody has lost all hope because nobody wants to help them from the abuse they're getting, that they might want to kill themselves to get out of the situation. And I am not saying that I'm going to kill myself. Do not misread what I just said, because apparently when you say anything in any phrase that says I'm not going to do something, that everybody hears, oh, let me try to save them from themselves. Right? This is starting to piss me off on a level that the VA is not prepared for. I have some damning videos. They don't know, they have no idea what my recordings show. I have a provider laughing at me. I have providers telling me that they have no idea how to report the abuse that happened to me. To this day, I can't imagine or understand, other than it being a systemic problem with the VA, right? The corruption in it, that the VA itself as a machine gets a new leader every 4 years whenever the president decides to the new president decides to change them out. Nobody's ever in charge long enough of the VA to find out what's really going on. Now, when Secretary McDonald was put in office after the mass murders in Phoenix, immediately myself and a lot of other veterans immediately saw the improvements that man was making for us. It's also a reason that veterans keep asking for him back. So when I got abused in 2015, Secretary McDonald had given us his direct line to report things of that nature, which I did. The inquiry started. The doctors started trying to cover it up, and I wasn't going to let them. But I had no choice but to not get any help anymore, because Donald Trump got elected. And then Donald Trump changed the head of the VA. And what happened to me, the investigation, everything, got swept under the rug. Right? Because I can guarantee you that no sitting president or president that has been sitting that could be linked to something like this, they don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. So people like myself have to protect their sisters and brothers in arms, because these people are insane. The legal system in this country is unreal. Like, it is like backwards world. It's upside down. Right? Up is left. Left is left. Right is left. Down is left. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And we have a problem in this country because money buys decisions, right? They starve you out for as many years as they can because they have an endless bucket of money. And then when they get their way, they use that in a similar way to case law. And if they take you to trial and they use their manipulation and power to do that, then it will keep happening to us. Because the system is designed that way. It's flawed. It's massively flawed. And if you get arrested and you're reading your Miranda rights, and they say if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you. Well, in the military, when I was going through my medical discharge, I had to get a JAG attorney to help me. I had to be assigned to a medical holding company. I had a first sergeant who had a conversation with me and told me that I was assigned to him, but I was going to stay into my current company.